Hey, we should host another group build sponsored by the podcast.
Sure, but it needs to be a race car this time.
Yeah, something that can race on asphalt or dirt.
And night and different types of weather. That would be pretty cool.
And can fly.
Wait, what?
What you talking about, BG?
Hey, I got it. Rally cars.
Yes.
What date should we run the build for?
How about January 31st? It can start and go to December 31st. That's a good amount of time.
Sure, I can work with that.
Okay, but I gotta say, I'm a little concerned about the defying gravity thing. I haven't had much luck in that lately.
Join the Scale Model Car Podcast 2025 Rally Cool Rally Car group build and build that rally car model kit that's been sitting on your shelf ever since you brought it home from the hobby store and said, I'm gonna build that one day, because now is your chance.
How's it going, all you scale model car junkies out there? Welcome to the Scale Model Car Podcast with your hosts, BG, Chuck, Luca, and Jason.
Hello and welcome to episode 40. That's right, 40 of the Scale Model Car Podcast. This is your friend, Mr. BG, along with your hosts, Chuck from Chuck's Hobby Spot.
Hi, everybody.
Matt from the Lucas E channel.
Hey ho!
Unfortunately, Mr. Blue Ox is not with us at the recording time because he's got some stuff going on with family. Don't worry, him and Heather are just fine. Just got some stuff going on. I'm sure you'll hear about that in the future. But we do have a couple of guests with us, very, very close friends of everybody here. We have Josh Reese from VCG Resins by Reese and Mr. Chris Bell from Scale Speed Garage.
Hey.
So we are very happy to have you guys on here because not only are you very close personal friends to us, but you're also the guys that supply us with parts. So, yay!
Pizza boxes.
Pizza boxes, yes. I love it when I see a thing on my phone saying, "Oh, you've got a pizza box coming from Josh." I'm like, yes. As long as it's not a pizza
day. It's pizza day.
Yes, exactly. It's like New Comic Day, but better. So we're going to do our round table thing here. You guys, of course, are included in that, so you can let us know what you have going on your bench, or if you have a bench, or if you're trying to put your bench together while there's a toddler running around. So we'll go ahead and start with that, and we'll start with Matt because he's not looking at the camera.
Why me? Why is it always me? Well, what I'm working on today there, BG, is I got the, I have the only thing on the bench now is the Malibu, 66 Malibu, you know, the adventure in building a model car. Back on that.
You're actually doing that.
I'm actually working on it. We got videos in the works on the way. And man, it's I'm having a blast. I'm having such fun with Ajax, you know, our buddy Ted, going back and forth. We're having fun making videos towards one another, kind of, and all that. And so many people were interested in wanting to jump in and building a monogram 66 Malibu flip nose that we started a Facebook group for people to jump in and just kind of get involved and just yak and poke fun at me and poke fun at Ted, and it's we got 11 people on there.
Of course, there's a Facebook group.
Yeah. No, but it's really fun. We've gotten a lot of really great reception. I've been really pleased because I kind of got burned out on that project. We're talking like 5 years ago, I think I stopped, and it had to do with like I was getting negative feedback from people. Oh, possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
I most of the videos I made on that was at the house I used to live in, and I'm coming up on my 6th anniversary being in this house. And I think I did one video here when I first moved in. So yeah, it's been a while. And
I'm sure that flip nose was pre-Felix.
I was pretty much, you know, and the thing that's really neat too is I was really surprised how many comments I got. I want to thank these people that said I came to this channel because you were building. I remember when you were building that, and we're so glad you're bringing it back because it's bringing back memories of the old days of the channel. And it's like, wow, these people have been following me that long and didn't get mad at me and stop watching because I stopped working on it. So
These
I kind of
people
like
did you that long.
yeah, really, they tolerate it. So I owe it to them, and I'm really amped. I'm having a good time. I'm getting ready to. I'm like been working on the next video for that. I don't know when it'll come out. Hopefully soon, but it's got me juiced up. I'm having fun. I want to have that thing done. I really would like to have it done to take it, because this was the original place I was going to take it to when it was done. I was shooting for is the Spirit of Speed. You know, what's a Pomona over there at the NHRA Museum, because when I first started, I said I'm going to have this done because I'm going to the Spirit of Speed. Back in 2018, that was
just a little behind the curve.
A little behind, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. I'd like to debut it there. That would be cool. So that's what's going on with the Lucas C Bench and the Lucas C channel.
Perfect. Well, I think it's great you're giving your followers closure by finishing that kit, so now they can unsubscribe and move on to other things.
That would be nice. Yes, I need the break.
A little bit of closure. Cool. Mr. Josh, what about you? Have you got anything going on your bench right now?
I'm still grinding away on that USAC dart.
Oh yeah?
I have so many stalled builds on my bench right now. Every group build that I've jumped in over the last year and a half or so has not gotten finished, and they're all still sitting on my bench. So at this point, I'm kind of just trying to get some of those cleaned up a bit so that I don't feel as guilty when I open a new kit.
Right. So when you say grinding away, are you like with the angle grinder, or are you just at the wheel?
Just at the wheel.
Okay.
The chassis was giving me kind of a hard time just because I'm using the Viper chassis. I took the chassis from the AMT Viper and I stretched it out, and I'm putting that under there. And there were just a lot of little things that I wasn't exactly sure how they were going to come together. Like some of the shocks and the fuel tank and stuff. And then I made a breakthrough the other day. I opened the Viper box back up and found the fuel tank kind of trunk insert, and that just kind of light on the back half of it now. And it's like, okay, now I know where I'm going with this. It's not so hard.
That's awesome.
That sounds cool.
For me, that's usually I think I have an idea. Yeah, I'm having an idea. Oh no.
Yeah.
I gotta start over.
I've done that.
Hey Josh, I got a question for you on that conversion. I messed around that same idea many years ago. I was trying to put a Viper body or Viper chassis, and you're also going with the Viper engine, the V10?
No, I'm using the Hemi Head Turbo Slant 6 designed by Mr. Bell there and printed here.
Interesting. Okay, that's cool. Well, the one thing you might not have that problem, but I was noticing when I did that, I used the Revell Viper though. But man, when I got it all stretched out, I got my wheelbase all figured out. Where the motor mounts were, they were almost like where the gear shift would be. They were like, that thing is so set far back. So I cut the motor mounts off and moved them all the way up front. And then that was stall project, tucked away somewhere. Don't even know where it's at. So it's forgotten.
I have this weird thing that regardless of how bad one is beating me up, I have to finish it. I have to.
Yeah.
I just keep putting it in the box, taking it back out. I'm a glutton for punishment that way.
Yeah.
That's where the shelf of shame came from, was, oh yeah, I want that hangover to be like the sword of Damocles.
My shelf of shame goes all the way around the room and into the well of gold.
Yeah. Very cool. But that Viper idea for underneath the dart is just really inspired. So I cannot wait to see that come together
That'll be cool.
after all the squirrels are taken care of.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It will get there. I
Well-
will finish it.
Good. I'm glad to see. Yeah, maybe for DSE next year.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm
Okay, cool.
shooting for September.
Oh,
Just carry it on.
oh my!
And keep it off the top shelf.
We're
Oh,
flying the
good
plane
advice.
next year.
You're gonna do what?
Said we're flying the plane next year. We're not trusting anybody else.
Let me fly it.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
Gently, gently, gently. Oh, I should have put the wheels down. Oh, I didn't get to that page yet in the book. All right, Mr. Chuck, what have you got going on your bench?
Well, I'm buzzing away on that 37 Ford. I work on it a little bit here and there every day, and every time I look at it, I change my mind on something. So, but it's for the better a lot. So, it's coming along though. I think I'm in total, like I totally broke the mock-up down. I'm getting ready to sand a lot of the engine stuff. The body's all sanded 100%. Most of it's all sanded and ready to go for primer. It's going to probably have primer on it this weekend.
Oh, nice.
So we are buzzing along on it. I was going to bring it to our club meeting tomorrow, but I don't really want to mock it back up. So
Right. Yeah.
I will come empty-handed.
I might slip some stuff
cool.
into your hands to prime for me while you're doing that. It's like, hey, while you got that up and running.
Yeah,
You
so
do this?
I've also got the 55. I've been printing parts for. I did print Chris's back half for it, and I grafted it to the original, and it fits perfect.
Nice.
So Josh, you were right. It's D.
D.
That's the number, like the letter rather. It is.
Oh, okay.
She's got different ones to put on there.
Okay, I was wondering if that was a letter code for something.
No.
Nope.
I thought maybe D stood for dope or something like that. Like, oh, I think it's dope.
Yeah, but other than that, I've just been just buzzing away on this, and I've been trying to clean up the hobby room, and then I make it a mess again, and then I clean it, and I make it a mess, and I think I just make more messes than I build anymore. So
Yeah, I hear you. Try just taking your workbench and moving it, 90 degrees from where you had it before. That took a month just to move the desk. Anyway,
yeah.
Mr. Chris, have you got anything going on your bench? Do you even have a bench right now?
I do. I have, as you can see behind me, and again, for those of you that weren't in the pre-show hangout, which is everybody except for you four, this actually behind me right now is a picture of my model room as it currently exists. But I am on a little weekend getaway with the family, so that's all virtual behind me. But yes, I do have my bench in the room. You can see the models are on the shelves, but really kind of getting the bench put together, getting everything organized is my main project right now. I'm not a super tidy person, and we just moved about a month ago, and in my brain I said, okay, this is an opportunity for me to start organized and stay organized. So wish me luck on that. But trying to get all that put together. I did open up a model box earlier this week. After the debacle on the airline last month, I was really kind of killed the mojo for me for a while. At certain points over the weekend while we were in Phoenix, I was thinking, maybe I'm just done building models, or maybe I'm going to take the summer off. And sure enough, I started unpacking boxes and boxes of model kits and putting them on the shelf. And, the heartstrings started getting tugged a little bit. And so I decided to do just kind of a quick mojo rebuilder build. I don't have my spray booth set up yet. I don't have my printers set up yet. So this is just kind of out of the box mostly. I'm going to use some great ProTech stuff that I ordered from Josh to kind of dress it up a little bit. But, for the most part, just kind of a box stock-ish build. I'm doing the MPC 34 Slammer modified kit.
Nice.
It seemed like one that I could kind of bust out. And summertime for me, one of my favorite things is to go to the dirt track and watch cars go around and around really fast on dirt and eat some corn dogs and enjoy racing. So doing a dirt car felt like the right thing. So
yeah,
that's mostly what we got going on.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear you're like getting your toesies in the water again for building, because that was a horrific situation. So
I know the feeling.
For you, dude. Yeah, you need to do a revenge build.
That's what I did.
What Chuck did.
So I did.
Then you can flex.
I did pick up another one of those kits from D Models. It has arrived. I don't think I can bring myself to build the revenge build quite yet. I feel like I'm just gonna be too angry with it on the bench for right now. So it's on the shelf next to another kit from them. This really cool 1950s Caterpillar D10 construction tractor. They're gonna get built together. I'm gonna put the tractor on a flatbed behind the truck, so we will rebuild it even better than before.
Oh, very $6 million man. Like it. Cool. Awesome, man. Well, I hear you guys asking silently, BG, what have you got on your bench? Well, I'll tell you. I'm still working on the 2021 AMT Ford Bronco, and here is the chassis. And I got it weathered up. It's bad lighting, but I like this kit. I like this kit a lot. I started building it because I did the mock-up for the tent that you guys were talking about doing. And I liked it so much. I'm like, I got to do this thing. I was going to do it as a tow vehicle for the Curtis Midget race car, but now I want to do this as a gone camping situation rather than a day at the track. So, yeah, so we've got more plans in the works for this guy here. And basically, that's it, because that's all I have time to work on right now, because I'm spending most of my free time selling models to people who come into a store. Where's my shirt at? Yeah. Right
yes,
there.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I was, as a matter of fact, Chuck, you came up in conversation on Saturday. Andy was asking me, well, how did it go Friday? I said, well, sales seemed like they were a little bit on the light side, so I called my buddy Chuck and fixed that for you. So he's like, really? And I said, yeah, no problem. He goes, okay, well, keep at it. So yeah, I'm actually having a lot of fun working there, and it's just a freaking blast. You guys don't have any idea, but and I'm so tired. I'm so tired, but that's a whole other podcast. But yeah, we're still working on the Bronco, trying to get that done, and then I think I'm going to be Mr. One at a Time model builder for the foreseeable future, because I just don't have time. So I used to be Mr. 5 at a time type of thing, but that was in my youth. Now I want to do stuff and do it nicely and get it done semi on schedule. So, and then Matt was like, hey, you're going to want to do one of those Malibu kits? I'm like, hell no. Hell no. I am not joining the flip off build. So
I think I'm going to, though.
I think you should.
I really been wanting to build that kit. So.
Oh, man, it is a fun kit. It really is.
It's one of the first models I ever built as a kid.
Everybody says it. That's why everybody loves it so much.
Yeah.
I got one for my birthday when I turned 12. I put it in the closet, and then many years later, when I moved out, I left it behind.
I think that kit's been around since the 70s.
My parents sold the house, and that model kit was still in it probably when they sold the house. So it's either part of landfill or somebody else's stash now. Cool. Well, thank you guys for participating in that. And next up is the Midwest Model Car Report featuring Josh and Chris. You guys want to take a whack at it? All of you.
Let's do it.
All right. May 24th, the Best of the West 2025, sponsored by IPMS Las Vegas, held at the Orleans Hotel and Casino. Are we trading these off, Josh?
Yeah.
Let's do that. And on May 31st, which, by the way, happens to be somebody's birthday, just throwing that out there.
Oh, man.
If anybody wanted to send something nice this way.
Everybody send Josh actual pizzas.
Everybody send them a GTO.
Oh,
That's just mean.
I thought you were friends.
I was gonna send him an Iceman engine for his birthday. Just kidding.
May 31st, we have the Capital Area Modelers Society 2025 Spring Classic Model Show. And that will be held at the Frederickson High School, 300 Priestman Street in Frederickson,
New Brunswick.
NB, Canada. I'm not sure what NB is in Canada. New Brunswick?
Probably
Yeah,
New Brunswick. Yeah, I would say that.
That's in New Brunswick, Canada. The theme this year is Thunderbirds and Warsaw Pack.
Oh,
Right.
I always forget that they're doing Thunderbirds there. Cool.
And at the start of summer for us in the Northern Hemisphere, but at the start of their winter, June 7th through 9th, the Australian Model Expo 2025 held at the Sandown Entertainment Centre, Sandown Racecourse, Princes Highway, Springvale, Melbourne. They have over 60 categories, including aircraft, military, sci-fi, and of course, cars and trucks. They also have demonstrations, swap and sell, auto displays, traders or businesses, and special raffles.
Nice.
Ooh.
Well, you guys are hired.
See you,
Sorry, Jason. I think you just got fired.
Jason got
I've
fired.
been worried about that since episode 1.
I gotta tell you though, Jason takes some pretty detailed and very well written notes, so even our guests can do it. Nothing against them, of course, but thank you guys for helping out, and again, thank you to Jason for doing the legwork on that. We truly appreciate that. And now, 3D printing news with Chuck.
This is going to be super easy today because I got two of the guys that are here right now that I do this for, and they're going to do it themselves today.
There you go.
Do I even need to be here?
See you later.
Bye.
We have another guy getting fired today.
Oh,
Oh, they're just
So
laying
why?
me off. I get a severance, right?
you get a
It's
severance.
retirement.
Your severance is a taco with a bite out of it.
We have Iceman collections for today. That's all we have for me to do. So we got coming out the 77 Firebird wide body kit and custom snowflake wheels. I love those type of wheels that everybody's doing, the custom ones. I think Z-Force has got a set of those really nice. Those are multi-piece Moon Eyes, multi-piece Moon Eyes tank, Beehive oil filters, Pro Touring hood for the 69 Camaro, and Smokey in the Bandit figures. Still available, 25 or 20% discount if you buy the full set of 7. No code needed for that. So don't forget to sign up for the newsletter to stay informed. Handful of kits coming later this year. And that's all we have for
Very good.
3D printing news.
Well, what you guys want to share? Anything you got going on with your stuff?
Go ahead.
Mr. Chris?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, actually, we just released part 1 of SSG 50. This is our 50th file pack that we've done.
I love it.
So kind of a big milestone for us. And this one may take us over the 4,000 total files released mark. But to celebrate hitting a milestone, 50 file packs, we're doing some big stuff this month. We're doing 2 full 3D printable kits. The first one is out now. The second one is still coming, and that one's still a surprise. The first one we released about a week ago, I guess, is a 1960s, late 1960s style fuel-altered dragster. The full kit, when you print all of the parts, comes in at like 78 to 80 pieces. So that's actually more than double the parts count of the Revell 1981 Camaro kit. And this thing, you know, I say this about a lot of the stuff I design. I feel like I'm always saying, man, this is my favorite thing I've ever designed. This is the best thing we've done so far. And I'm not blowing smoke. It's just that I feel like we keep doing cooler and cooler stuff. And this kit is awesome. It's got a full tube frame chassis with roll cage. It has the Ford 427 motor in it. We released 3 options for transmissions. You can do it with a 4-speed top loader manual. You can do it with the C4 automatic. You can do it with the Ford-O-Matic automatic 3, like really period correct transmissions there. This thing has the full sort of T-bucket altered body. You can display it with the body on or off. We've made sure to design it in such a way that if you want to take it to a show and kind of do the Randy Durr thing and pull it apart as the day goes on so people can see, you know, underneath all those layers of the onions, you can do that. But just a super cool kit, fully detailed on the inside as well. The interior, you know, you get a shifter, you get a steering wheel and a dashboard and everything. The front steering linkage works. You can turn the front wheels, and the drag link and everything will pivot with it. Yep, the suspension has some play in it in the front. So definitely excited about that. Like I said, that's just part 1 of SSG 50. We have another full kit coming out that's going to have a handful of different options and different ways you can build it here shortly as well. After that, we move on to SSG 51, and we're going back to semi-truck land for a while. So we're going to release some files for semi-trucks, including the main sort of centerpiece of the file pack is going to be a full line of Detroit diesel V71 engines from 6 on up to 16. And yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming. So if you're printing or you're interested in getting into printing, definitely check us out. And I did mention on in our email to the people that subscribe to our email list and on social media that we were going to drop access to a very, very limited lifetime sale. So if you want to get into Scale Speed Garage and just pay one time and never pay another monthly or annual membership fee, this is your opportunity to do it. If you're a new or returning member, if you're an existing member that wants to trade in your existing membership, you've already received an email on how to do that. But we are opening 5 lifetime spots right now when this episode airs to new or returning members to get lifetime access to Scale Speed Garage. To do that, you are going to go to www.scalespeedgarage.com/Pomona. Pomona.
And let me just say, if you won't regret it. The file packs that he releases are just incredible. The Department of Interior, I was super impressed with that. That was the one right before this one, I think.
Yep.
Department of Interior.
Some cool stuff in that.
Nice.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah, we had never done a file pack of just kind of interior stuff, so it felt right to do that.
We need a part 1, part 2, part 3.
So does the lifetime membership come with a terabyte drive to hold all those files on?
Right, it should. It should. That'll be on the member to take care of. But
right.
And you'll need it. Trust me.
Ton of great stuff. I also, in all of that, forgot to mention that we have a bonus pack coming out for our Pro and Elite members, and that lifetime membership is a Pro membership, so you'll get bonus packs every month too. We have a bonus pack coming out for those members here shortly that is the single overhead cam, the SOC motor 427, with a handful of different options there. And as I was looking at the chassis for this fuel altered, I was looking at old flip-top funny cars and realized they're basically the same thing, just a longer wheelbase and, a few other little changes. So we're now working on a funny car, like a late 60s, early 70s funny car chassis as well. That's going to be a bonus pack for Pro and Elite
very
members.
cool.
So,
Wow.
That would be
Very
awesome.
cool.
Can I push for a 74 Camaro? Asking for a friend.
No.
No. Chuck's vetoed it. Man, that is some killer stuff you got coming in, and all that with a move going on.
yeah.
Josh, how about you? Sorry.
No, you're good.
So, as everyone knows, Chris and I work real close together. So, a lot of the stuff Chris just talked about is also in the works here at VCG. We just recently released our Ford Y-Block Cobra engine. That is one of our
It's pretty cool.
what-if kind of fantasy engines. A Y-Block Cobra was never actually a thing, but we made it a thing with the help of our good friend Ryan Voyer from Scale Auto Model Works. We also just released mini pizzas to go in your pizza box that we'll send you. So sometimes one pizza box isn't enough. You're just going to need some more pizza boxes. So we have those available now.
Never have enough.
Didn't you make one with a bite out of it or something?
So the pizzas that come with it, you'll get 2 full pies and then 2 slices of pizza.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah,
What
because
scale?
1/25 scale.
what scale do you want?
So if you want to do a Home Alone diorama, you are set.
Yeah. So
I
like the
feel
idea-
the elite package coming out.
I like the idea of having some, just a couple slices left behind, because it's like if you're doing a diorama with you're hanging out with your buddies or something like that, and you got a pizza box, who has a complete pizza sitting there? I mean, when those things are delivered, you got 5 minutes while people are washing their hands, and then slices are disappearing.
Yeah, they're gone quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you do the OCD? The anti-OCD one with the slice cut out of this triangle slice cut out of the center of the pizza. I might have to do that myself, but that's awesome. That is awesome. I remember, I think it was the first time I ordered from you guys. I picked up the inline 6 Ford engine that had the Cobra race parts on it, and I was really impressed by that. I was like, man, this is. And then I did a video on it, and people are like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "Well, there's a link in the description," But yeah, that was a killer thing. So
some of our fantasy engines are some of our better sellers. We've done the Cobra 300, the Cobra Y Block, the Hemi Head Slant 6, the Slant 8. That thing is just a monstrosity.
Is that for like a Duesenberg or something? Because it's got to be like a block long.
It's extremely long, and we do it. We call it our warplane package.
Oh,
so
yes.
It has kind of a vintage warplane style exhaust manifold and 4 Webers on there. It's a monster.
Yeah, man, I'm seeing that as just like in a frame with a firewall and a radiator and a driver with the scarf, flowing in the breeze as he's wrestling the wheel around the curve. I love it.
One of my favorites is a flathead motor. Just for some reason it always is. It's the best one you can buy, I think. It's his flathead.
It is so detailed.
Yeah.
And is that one printed with the spark plug holes open? If I remember correctly, is that true?
I think there's no. I think it has
there's
in there.
Spark plugs in it.
There's spark plugs
hooking out of the head. Yep.
Okay.
It's a nice motor. It really is.
Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah.
options.
We need to get one of
That's
those.
what, that's what you want on a flathead. You want that spark plug detail because
Yeah.
the spark plug wire. I mean, that's definitely something distinctive of the flathead. You see that spark plug with just a boot on it. Man,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Or
But
if
his
you want to
motors
go,
just keep getting better too. I mean,
if you want to go even farther back in time, that engine would have just had a copper fitting with the electrode actually screwed onto it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
You don't want to lean on that engine.
No,
I love flathead.
those pack a punch.
Yeah, kapow, right? So one of the things I really enjoy about what you guys offer is, like Chuck was saying, you can get a flathead engine and then accessorize it right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So
that
many
is
details.
that is a sweet thing to do. So thank you guys for that. Anything else to add to the 3D section, Chuck? I mean, Jason. I don't know who anybody is anymore. Josh or Chris?
I would just throw a plug. If you guys read the Auto Model, the last couple issues of Auto Modeler, you saw me build that white semi-truck from D Models. They are out of Romania. If you are into old semi-trucks, old construction equipment, do check them out. I'm not like a paid spokesperson for them or anything. I just think what they're doing is so cool, and they're really filling a hole in the market with some of this older equipment, this older commercial equipment. And they are really starting to move more into the 125th truck market with some of their semi-trucks and construction equipment. So, it's a little bit pricey, but it's, at the end of the day, you're getting a complete kit of something that you can't build any other way. So do check them out. Their website, I think, is scalecollectibles.com. Great customer service, great models, excellent design, and like I said, really cool subject matter. So
Very cool. Because, that's one thing that we are lacking in the 125th scale is construction equipment.
Yeah.
And people have the flatbed kits out there you can use, and it's like, what are you going to put on it? The same bulldozer everybody else has?
the same bulldozer everybody else has, or you're going to spend like $130 to get one of the AMT backhoes, one of the John Deere backhoes,
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, those are $130 now?
I have one of their cards around her.
I happen to have one of those.
Let's talk.
I can afford dinner tonight. Oh, how many tacos can you get for $130? Enough. That's my answer. Cool. Good shout out, man.
Just enough.
Just enough. So that brings us to emails, and I guess I'll just do that one myself since I haven't printed out. We're going to start off with Mr. Chris Martin. And
I know that guy.
He says, hey, all. While I realize the Venn diagram of your audience that also geeks out about this is probably a single point, i.e. me, but Brian's comment on 537 scale Star Trek kits, yes, this is still a car podcast, had me yelling, oh, I know why, so I'll share it with you folks anyway.
Of course he knows.
Of course he knows. At the time that the first kit was tooled in 1979 for the Star Trek movie, AMT designed the kit so that both the saucer section would fit. Both of the saucer sections would fit inside the biggest box they had, and also so that C-cell batteries. What the heck are those? C-cell batteries fit inside the secondary hull. The first issue, including that's right, they have lighting in the first issue. The resulting scale was 1/537th-ish. Next came the Reliant to go with the same scale, and then many years later, the Cutaway Enterprise. I could go on, but the scaling of Star Trek ships and models, but that's beyond the scope of your show. As for which scales I would do away with, I concur with the quorum that the 1/20th needs to go away, but I'd also branch out and express my desire that similar scale actually matched, like 1/24th and 1/25th, not both. So he would want to do one or the other, but not both. 1/32nd or 1/35th, and 1/8 or 1/9 scale. It sure would make things flow much better. Yeah, I agree. And also, as an aside, there is a guy out there that is building a 125th scale USS Enterprise out of cardboard with full interior. When completed, it'll be about 37 feet long.
Wow.
Wow.
Where's that going to be stored?
That's a lot of Amazon boxes. It says, cheers, Chris from the Sprue. Thank you, Chris, for setting us right on that 537 thing. Appreciate that very much. Yes, this is Soul Car Podcast. And then Wayne Peters out of Australia writes, G'day, guys. He always says g'day.
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 I just wanted to get your thoughts regarding using 2K finishes on models for racing vehicles. Uh-oh, here comes the racing car clear question. For me, the high gloss finish that usually comes with a 2K is too much on a racing vehicle.
Do it anyway.
From my experience, most show a satin finish at best in real life, not really shiny. I know it is up to the individual to finish the model in a way that satisfies them, but I don't think it's really necessary or realistic. Where do you all stand on this subject? Regards, Wayne. Thank you, Wayne.
Oh boy.
Well, let's roll up our sleeves.
We're going to be fighting.
Roll up our sleeves and start punching. I like it.
Well, I high finish like everything. I put a 2K on all the stuff I do. So yeah, there's my answer.
If Chuck's dog runs too slow through the house, he'll put a 2K on that.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh well, that's some bitch is shining right now.
That's a high cost dog. What about you guys? What do you think down there?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just do it like I do it and get dust and crap in every single finish you do, and that'll take care of it.
There you go. Handled.
It's realistic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Josh, what are your feelings on this?
I think so. I really like a lot of the 2K finishes I see out there. There's some beautiful builds on the tables. I think the 2K is too glossy on almost everything that I see, unless it is a like a SEMA or a Kindig style kind of build, and it just rolled out of a custom paint booth. Cars don't have that kind of finish. They just don't. Even brand new cars from any of the big manufacturers right now, they don't have that finish. It's just too glossy for me. And I understand all the benefits of 2K. I understand how easy it is to use. I understand how it can cover up a lot of things and make life easy for you. I would agree. I think on a race car in particular, it's just too much.
I like it.
Yeah.
Visually, I like it, but you think about how you achieve that high of a gloss on an actual car, right? It's with multiple coats of clear coat. What's the number one enemy of any race car? It's weight, right? So when you're building a real race car, you're not going to be throwing 37 coats of clear on that, because that is additional weight, and that that weight matters.
Well, that's why I drill lightning holes in the body.
Yeah, that solves that problem.
I actually saw an interview with Chip Foose, I believe it was, and he was talking about a top fuel body that was brought to him and that he painted.
I seen that. I did see that.
By the time he was done with it, it was the most beautiful top fuel body you have ever seen in your life. That is absolutely unusable because of all of the Bondo, the paint. It was like 75 pounds over what it needs to be.
I forgot who the drag racer was. It was a drag race, like a rail, and they complained about it. We can't even use it. You remember that? He said, we can't use it. You added like 75 pounds to the car or something.
It was like a giant brick.
But do it anyway.
75 pounds, that's what, 300 horsepower extra needed to get that moving down the track. Well, I would say this. If you're building your model to try and last for forever, which nothing does, but if you're trying to beat the odds, I would clear over the decals with a 2K if you're wanting to protect that from UV or whatever. Make sure those decals don't peel up or silver or something like that over time. But if you're going for accuracy, I'd have to agree with Josh that that's not something you're going to want to see. The issue as a judge, is that you need to know what's this person doing when they did the declare. Are they going for accuracy, or are they just trying to protect this so it survives longer than it would normally survive? So we all know that 2K does not help a car bounce anymore off of a carpet in a hobby room. It doesn't help with that at all. Seems to make it more brittle. But just saying for a friend. But it comes down to builder's choice, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
So
builder's choice. Yes.
Builder's choice. Yeah, I used to drink that coffee all the time. But that's my 12 cents for that. So
yeah. My personal feelings on it, I'm a lot like exactly what Josh said, so I'm not going to go over it again, is I like to build a lot of race cars, but it also depends on the race cars. Like drag cars, a couple of them, I wanted that look, and especially like I did a couple super stock cars, and doing a super stock car or that type of, little door slammer, all that, when I'm thinking about taking it to a show, I'm up against funny cars and rails and pro mods and chucks. And so I got to give myself a little more oomph there. So when I'm just doing a little black, stock eliminator, super stock type Camaro that says Pyroil on the side, I don't know.
Slick it up.
I that one got the 2K clear, and that's when I do that. But a lot of my other things, and also lately, I've really gotten to where the clears that have come out, like from Mr. Hobby, for instance, they work so nice, and they really give a very, very excellent shine to them, and you can buff them that look a little more to scale. It really does, and I just think you can really get a beautiful, beautiful award-winning paint job with those clears any day if you know how to use them. Mm-hmm. I have spoken.
Okay. I'm personally trying to figure out how I can double task and see if I can get taco grease to adhere to a car body.
Ooh.
To give it that nice shine and that lusty smell. So
you're going to want to use carne asada. It goes on clear if you try to use
carne asada. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So you say carne asada? Okay, got
carne
it.
asada.
That was a joke, man.
Carne asada.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick little break here and hear from a friend of ours, and then we're going to come back and talk to our guesses. So stick around for that. We'll be right back.
Guys, right there.
Cool.
All right.
Oh, man. This looks terrible. Oh, what's wrong, Beavis? The engine in my model car kit sucks. It sucks. Look at this. Maybe you should try IcemanCollections.com. He has all sorts of stuff for model cars and junk. They're all 3D printed parts. Oh, really? Do tell. Yeah, here, check it out. Oh, hello, I am Carl. You have 3D parts for my model car? Shut up, Beavis. Yeah, okay, I'm going to order some stuff right now.
Yes, I'd like to order a number 2, supersized with cheese, please.
Okay. Like drive-through. Maybe we should get back to work. He said number 2. Shut up! I'm trying to elevate my next build with Iceman Collections. IcemanCollections.com, the home of hundreds of model car parts that you need to elevate your build. Thank you guys for sticking around for that little brief moment of fun for our friend Joel at Iceman Collections. Again, we're talking to Josh Reese from VCG Resins by Reese, and of course, Chris Bell from Scale Speed Garage. And now we're going to be talking to them directly about what they've got going on. A little bit later on, we'll ask them the questions we always like to ask our guests. But first, I want to get a little bit of history about these guys in particular. And please don't share any bank codes or social security numbers. But we wanted to know, how did you two guys end up becoming friends? Jump ball.
Yeah. So we were both in the same model car scene, the model car community in the Denver area, and kind of floated around each other's orbits for a little while, and then ended up really meeting at one of the local shows. And that was right after Josh had bought VCG and was taking it on and building it, starting the very beginnings of building it into what it is today. I, at the time, was just, I don't even know if Scale Speed Garage was off the ground yet, or if it was still just something that I was working on, but I was running a company called Bolide Plastic Motorworks, doing the same thing, doing the printing and selling of model car parts. And so we kind of started talking and had that common ground, and, really just very quickly sort of fell into talking shop about the industry and the hobby and kind of what we were seeing out there. And that was really the start of the friendship. And then, we kind of stayed in touch. I think I was maybe one of Josh's first customers after he brought VCG to its home in Colorado, and ordered some stuff from him. And at that time, I was still cast resin and some spun aluminum stuff, and ordered that from him, and really liked the quality, really liked the aluminum, the resin, but I think Josh was already kind of starting to look in the direction of 3D printing. And so we kind of, just traded notes that first time we met, and kind of stayed in touch. And then, not too long after that, once I got Scale Speed Garage launched, I was trying to run both an e-commerce business and a membership business. And we had a baby on the way, and it was getting to be too much. And I realized that if I wanted to nail something, I was going to have to pick one thing. So I said, nope, we're not having a baby, and I'm not doing. No, I'm just kidding.
Send it back. Send it
back. Can't do it. I decided to focus on the membership and being a new dad, and so Josh and I had kind of talked a little bit more, and I mentioned that was something I was considering, and one day I got a call from him, and he said, are you still thinking about selling that side of your business? And I said, yeah, I sure am. And it was kind of one of those universe's lessons of asking for what you want, because I had already seen enough from Josh to know that he was the person that I wanted that business to go to. That was the Bolide was my baby. It was my first business in this hobby. And, it didn't feel right to just kind of hand it off to anybody willy-nilly. And I had gotten to know Josh enough, seen his product enough, and seen how he interacted in the community, the ways he was supporting the community, and just the ways that he was engaging with customers. And my list of who I really wanted to take over Bolide had one name on it, and it was Josh's. And so, when that phone call came in, I was kind of like, yeah, we should meet. Let's meet up and talk about this. And, we sat down, and I just, kind of flat out said, do you want to buy my business? And he said, yeah, I do. And, we sat there over cigars, and, it felt very like, 1890s robber baron style, smoking cigars and doing business deals. But, no, it just really was a natural fit. And I couldn't be happier with the hands that took that baby and nourished it and nurtured it. And then, like a year later, we decided to travel out to GSL together. And we had been, friends and worked closely together already. But that first trip that we took together out to GSL, we drove out there from Denver. So we had like 8-10 hours in the car each way and just really got to know each other. And, I would say that's kind of like, well, that's when I found a best friend. And, it's a modeling memory that I know I will hold and cherish forever. But, it's just turned into this really cool thing. We work so well together, but, we just have such a great friendship, and our families have become friends. Like, our wives are best friends, and, Josh's kid is so great with my kiddo, even though they're, Josh's kid is a teenager, mine's a toddler. Like, Josh's kid is so good with my kid too. And it's just, I think it happened for a reason, and really couldn't be happier about.
I get to be Uncle Josh now.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's awesome.
Our kiddo talks more about you than he does about us. So.
BG and I, we took a trip together early in our friendship, and anytime I bring it up, he just says, "Come, please don't."
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
The 10 hours round trip in the car cemented our friendship and also gave me a lot to bring to therapy. So this is very happy.
You and Dave were like, "Who's the guy in the back seat?"
Exactly. Who's this
I
guy?
weaseled my way in on that GSL trip. Chris had already had plans to head out to GSL, and he was going to road trip out there by himself, and I wasn't necessarily sure if I was going to go or not. And I called him one day. I'm like, "Hey, you mind if I go to GSL with you?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And it just so happened that his car was having some issues right around then. So we ended up hopping in my car and made the trip all the way out there and spent a couple days together with some other great people out there. And I would say that was what really solidified that we were more than just business partners. We were friends. I would say our first trip out to you guys for the Desert Scale Classic in 24, that trip there really solidified our friendship there. That we had progressed a long way business wise and friendship wise, and that one we really got to know each other on a more personal level instead of just business and modeling. We talked about family and friends a lot, and that really just kind of set in motion the best friends that we are today. And I'm super grateful for it. I'm grateful for our business partnership. I think the two of us do work very, very well together. We're great at sharing ideas and bouncing ideas. It's been a beautiful thing.
Well, that first trip. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, BG.
I was going to say, I've gotten to spend time with you guys, just the three of us. And you guys are definitely brothers, right? So you have the personal relationship, you have the working relationship. I mean, like, nothing could be better than that. And then the spouses also get along super well. So I'm like, you guys are so lucky. You're so lucky. Yeah. So it's just a joy to see that type of thing happen.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's I can call Josh and be like, I have a business problem and I need your ideas. But I can also call him and say, I have a family problem and I need your ideas, right?
But
we just did that earlier today.
Yeah.
Oh.
That first trip out to Desert Scale in 24 was also, and I know you three probably kind of went through this as you were growing your brands in the hobby, but for Josh and I, we both went through this experience at the same time at that show of that was the first time where we were kind of like a little bit famous in our circle, right?
Yeah.
And the first time where we were at a show and people were like, "Hey, I know you," and you're like, "How? Who? You know, like, who are you? How do you know me?
Where? Who do you know?"
And, you know. So the night after the show, I mean, we went to the Model Car Mafia meeting at Matt's place afterwards. Then we stuck around at Matt's for like until like 2 a.m. Just, you know,
something like, yeah,
shooting the breeze and checking out Matt's resin works and everything else. And then Josh and I went back to the Airbnb and stayed up to like 4 or 4:30, just kind of unpacking that newfound sort of, wow, this is a weird experience to be, you know, the people that everybody knows all of a sudden.
Yeah. And I was really thankful that halfway through the Desert Scale Classic show, you guys stopped hiding behind me when people came up to ask you who you were. I almost got Chris. But yeah, no, it was good times. And that was the first time I got to meet you guys in person too. So that was really killer. Really killer. And we were so excited to have you come back out again. And also to see you in Colorado. That's your show, which, check out the segue. Tell us about your show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have many more planned, right?
We do. So we just finished up our second annual Mile High Open at the wonderful Forney Museum of Transportation. That is absolutely our dream venue. And both you and Chuck haven't been there. I think you would agree that is probably one of the coolest venues you could have a model show at.
Oh yes. Just the smell alone of all that dusty grease. Oh, it was in heaven.
And then you add in the smell of fresh 2K clear and
yeah. Funny, I don't remember much about that show now.
We are very, very fortunate to have partnered with the Forney Museum. It is much more than just a venue that we hold a show at. It is a true partnership that we have with them. Our club hosts monthly make and takes there, the second Saturday of every month. Open to any kids, adults, anyone that wants to come out and put a model together and spend some time with the club in the museum. We do that once a month. Great partnership. We're already looking forward to the next show, which through our partnership with the Forney, we already have a date for. Will be March 28th of 2026 will be the third show.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
But we may have something coming before that.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
Ooh. Are we going to get a scoop?
You are. You're going to go ahead and get an inside scoop here. So the Forney Museum was impressed enough with the show that we put on and the attendance that they have asked us to do a second show this year.
Really?
Whoa.
While that is logistically very, very tough to put together, 2 shows in a year, I think we have a way that we can do it. And it's kind of following along the trend of what we're seeing a lot of others doing in the community as well. We are looking to do a cars and coffee, styrene and caffeine type thing, a non-judged, no awards type of show, just a gathering, a nice get together. Everybody come, bring your models. No awards, just hang out, talk about your models. We'll have some vendors, we'll have some caffeine, we'll have some food, and just hang out and have a good time.
No awards?
No awards.
Awesome.
Sorry,
What?
Chuck.
Yeah, because somebody ran off with
Can't
all
afford
of them
any
the last
more
time.
awards now. We gave you
A lot of rewards.
award, bro.
That's so funny.
They've been stacked here for like a couple months.
When you guys, just as a side note, when you guys announced that Chuck had won the farthest traveled award, the person that was standing next to me goes, "Didn't you come from Arizona also?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I flew." And he's like, "Oh, does that not count?" I'm like, "No, it doesn't count."
It takes points off.
Points off, exactly. So that's awesome. A Cars and Coffee. I am. You have a date for that yet, or are you still working
We
on that?
do not have a date set in stone yet. We're trying to figure it all out with the club members because we have, with some of the club members being a little more scattered now, we do have one member that heads out of state for the summer, and a couple other members that have some travel towards the end of summer, start of fall. We're thinking somewhere in September, maybe beginning of October area.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Keep us posted so we can put out the word for you guys.
Yeah,
They'll do.
I'll be driving out for that show.
Yeah.
Right. I was hoping you'd say it was going to be during the summer because I'd like to leave my state during the summer. Oh boy, howdy, would I like to leave my state during the summer?
Yeah, no kidding.
But no, that's cool. That's awesome. I'm happy for you guys to do that. So this last show, you said it was your second show, and did that one build on the previous show, make it better, faster, stronger?
Much bigger, yes. I would say we grew attendance, at least number of models on the table. We almost tripled what we did from our first show.
Oh wow, that's
our first show. What was it at the first show, Chris? 70.
It was like 82 models on the table, not including the club table, obviously. But yeah, first show was like 82 models. This time around, we were up in 230 something.
Yep.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, those tables were full, and your vendor selections were just awesome too. I mean, Jameson himself. I almost wasn't able to afford to fly back because I went to Jameson's table.
That man's table is dangerous.
Oh, right.
It is, dude.
It is, and I know a strategy. He doesn't have everything like labeled on the top of the bottle, so you got to start pulling stuff out. And next thing you know, you have handfuls.
How did he know I needed this also?
Yeah, exactly. How did he know? I actually picked out a color. It's this beautiful pink pearl color. I'm like, ooh, I have a road agent kit from what's that guy's name? Ed Roth, right? The road agent kit. I'm like, oh, this would be perfect for that. And I was bragging to my friend George Oppenheim about that. He goes, "Yeah, I painted mine that." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I can use it for something else."
I think I bought that color too, but I want to put it on a Volkswagen.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
If it looks good on a spoon, it'll look good on a Volkswagen.
It's a great color too. That was a good choice.
Thank you. So yeah, Forney Museum, I think that's an awesome choice, and I'm so glad you guys held out for that to make that happen, because that I bet that was one of their highest ticket days of the year for those guys.
Probably.
I suspect it was, and you know, we did have to postpone our second show by a few months. Our second show, it was actually supposed to have been held in September of 24, but because of the loss of the venue and everything, we didn't want to put on a show that wasn't our show. We have specific things that we want to do with our show, and all of that includes it being a family-friendly show. We need to have the space for the make and takes. We want to have a show where everybody wants to bring their spouse and their kids, and everybody wants to hang out for the day. So many model shows are just the model builder themselves, and while those are great, because I mean those are our fellow builders, we want the families to be involved in what those builders are doing. We want everyone in the family involved, and that's also how we're hoping to be able to spread the community and help build and grow the hobby and keep the hobby alive.
Right.
We had, I think at the show that we just had, I think we had over 16 participants at our make and take event.
Oh, that's really good.
I know we went through a lot of the kits that we had. So
perfect. And that's how you get the next generation involved, right? Rather than, oh, we're going to drop dad off and then we're going to go do something. Well, he's at one of his silly shows. We're going to go do a family thing. Get the family involved. Oh, this is really cool. You mean I can do this also? That's where I see that going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. And I just got to love the fact that you held the show's integrity foremost, rather than just putting a show on, getting it out there. You held the integrity of that show foremost and made sure it was going to be good.
Our vision for the show has always been to not really put on a model car show, but to throw a party that celebrates all of the passion and the talent of our building community.
It was a good show.
We all agreed that we've been to, as a club, we all agreed we've been to plenty of model shows where you show up and you put your models on the table, you go around and look at all the models are on the table, and then you're waiting around for 4 hours for the award ceremony, kind of with nothing to do. And it's like, well, do I leave? Do I, what do I do? We said, we can do better than that. Let's make it a party. Let's make it fun. Let's give some value to people that are coming other than just a table to put their models.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because it was funny because at the show, I wanted to go tour around, look at some of the cars, right? Yeah. All the stuff on it, because the Ford Museum has one of my all-time favorite locomotive engines, a big boy.
Yes,
they're astounding. I'm like, finally, a locomotive my size. Right?
You can stand all the way up.
I can stand all the way, while I'm shoveling. But but I was talking to so many folks and having such a good time. It was like, wait, it's over? Okay. I guess I'll go home now.
Well,
but no, it was a good time.
And I don't want to jinx us or anything, but looking forward to the future, we've definitely talked as a club about trying to sort of build this into the next GSL type show in that part of the country. Now that GSL's done, right, there's not these big international drawing shows in the middle of the country. And I don't see any reason why we can't make that happen. And I think that our partnership with the Forney certainly would allow us to potentially turn this into a multi-day show, kind of like the GSL, and build it into the show where you have people coming from all over the country, people coming from different countries.
Yeah.
And logistically it makes sense. Denver is such an easy city to get in and out of. The airport is a big hub, so it's pretty inexpensive to fly in and out of there. There's tons of options for accommodations. There's tons of other stuff to do while you're there too. So
yes, exactly. And if you fly there, just make sure you have a buddy that might be driving up there so they can take all your crap back home for you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chuck. Cool. Chuck, Matt, do you guys have any questions you want to ask the boys?
Chuck?
Well, my question, this is where we give them our questions, right?
Yeah.
No. Or you can. You want to start
that?
Sure.
My question is, do you guys have or ever had a muscle car that maybe your favorite, that you remember the most? Let's start with Chris.
I right now currently do not. I have a perfectly boring, safe family vehicle, but no, I've had some really cool cars in my life. I've always been kind of a hatchback guy, an import guy, but I've had a second generation Golf that I was building out to do autocrossing with when I was 18, until I realized that even cheap racing requires deep pockets, right? We had a Ford Fiesta ST that was a lot of fun. But my all-time favorite car I've ever owned, I had a 1989 factory supercharged Toyota MR2, red, black leather, T-tops. And that was a car, when it came out, Car and Driver called it the poor man's Ferrari, and it really was. It was plenty quick. It wasn't a super car by any means, but it was plenty quick, but that thing handled incredibly. So
sure.
I have told my wife, like, if I ever see one again that's in good shape and we have the money sitting in an account to buy it, that money's gone and that car is coming home with us.
And so is she.
Yeah, probably.
As an interesting side note, I actually fit in the second generation MR2s.
Okay.
I can get in them. I cannot get out of them.
That's another story.
It's another story, though, yeah. Butter was involved. How about you, Josh? Do you have any hot rods or muscle cars in your history?
Not currently. I've had a handful of fun cars throughout the years. I was an auto tech, as most of you know, before I did this. So I've definitely dabbled in a lot of cars, many that you would fit in very easily as well, BG.
Really?
I'd say the ones that I miss the most would be my 69 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. 472 big block. It was all primered and everything. It was kind of a beater, but man, did I love that car. And the leather back seat, the interior.
Well, hey, now this is a family show.
It was a beautiful interior, no cracks, anything. And if you would take a corner sharp enough and put a small enough guy in the back, you could fling them from one side to the other just like that. It was so much fun.
Oh, that's a little armor roll on the seats and away he goes, right? So that's interesting, because I had a 69 Buick Electra, which was on the same chassis.
Mm-hmm.
And those things rode so nice.
Oh,
it didn't have the Cadillac suspension, but it rode nice. So I know what you mean, dude. I know what
very
you mean.
Nice. And just before, actually, part of what I used to help fund the start of VCG Resins was a 78 Datsun 280Z. That was my dream car. I had acquired it. It was not in the best of shape. I could not get it to pass emissions for the life of me. It had its typical unibody rust everywhere. It was falling apart. Realistically, I stored it for 2.5 years to make $1,000 on selling it. So I didn't do too.
Well, at least you made that. I mean, before it totally disintegrated.
Well, and it led me to where I am today. So I would say it was all very worth it.
Did its job. Let's see. How about Matt? Do you have a question for the boys?
I do. So, in a world of model car building, do you, either one of you, or both of you, is there that elusive kit that you've always wanted, that you want to get, that holy grail? Do you got one? Chris, you go first. You were nodding more.
Like maybe a 1/16 Revell Carmagia.
Checked that one off the list, baby.
Yeah, hey.
I kind of have two. One is more attainable, and it's that AMT John Deere backhoe that we were talking about earlier. The other one, upon seeing it last year at DSC 2024, Paul Cadwell built a beautiful Model Factory Hero 1/9 scale Ducati 750, like a 1978 or so Ducati 750. And that has become my ultimate grail kit. But it'll probably stay that way for a while, because those change hands for over $1,000 now.
Yeah. Wow. Model Factory Hero. Ka-ching! You can just hear it in the name. Yeah. Right. Josh, how's about you?
know that I really have a Grail kit per se. There's a couple of kits that I've been collecting that were some of my first kits from my youth that I had built, and none of them are super great kits to build. They're the whole Revell series of the hot rod, the Ford truck, the black 57 Chevy with the Corvette wheels. I've acquired almost all of them that I had and mutilated as a teen, except for the Max Rat. I am looking for a sealed Max Rat kit.
You got the Camaro, the 79 Camaro one, the funky looking body kit on there?
No, I never had that one. I didn't do that one.
The blue one.
Yep, I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
I'll have to look that one up. Okay.
There was also the Mustang 2 that had the really funky body kit on it that was part of that series.
Yes.
They had a lot of
yeah. Was that the Monroe Shocks version one that they had?
I think it was a rebox of that. Yeah.
Okay. I think it was red. Wasn't it red?
Red.
Was it red? It was
when
red with
gunmetal. The hot rod banner.
Yeah. I remember seeing those at the Long's drugstore down the street from my house and looking at the box art going, man, if they can't make it look good in the box, what am I going to be able to do? Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, I should have got those in Hell on Home. That would have been nice. Well, I had the 57 Chevy with the Corvette wheels that you're talking about. And I was because I love 57 Chevys, right? Got it home, popped it open, started pulling parts off. The doors like fell through, because they had the opening trunk too, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was too. I'm like, how am I supposed to make these parts bigger to fit the holes? And now I'm like, I know how to do that now.
Yes, everything on that one opens. The doors, the hood, the trunk, everything opens, and none of it fits.
Yes.
The cool kit in that series was the 54 Chevy. You remember that one?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one was really cool. Was that one also in red?
I think
got
it was
right over here.
Yeah, Matt,
Was
can
it
you grab it?
I have that one. It's over there. It's blue.
Oh,
I know they had
right
it red,
there.
red also too.
Yeah. Matt says no, he can't get it.
Yeah, that's a great kit.
Whoa, it's right there.
Yes.
I see the hot rod.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so since our buddy Jason is not able to be part of this, I will ask his question for him.
There you go.
The zombie apocalypse is upon us. I can't do the accent. You have to get out of the house.
Zombie apocalypse is on us.
Everybody in the family is safe. You're going to be safe, but you need to grab that one remaining that one kit out of your stash, the one kit you can't live without on your way out of the house. What kit do you grab? Josh, let's go with you.
So it's not necessarily one that I can't live without. It's one that's going to keep me occupied the longest, and I'm grabbing any one of my Fujimi enthusiast kits. I know I will have plenty of time to get them done.
Right.
And I would just like to thank Chris for getting me started on this Fujimi enthusiast kick, because I now have more of them than I will ever be able to finish in my time. So that means I have more than two.
Right?
Matt got me collecting those now.
Yeah.
I mean, you put the crankshaft in the block in a lot of those, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm like, oh God, what am I supposed to torque this to?
Yeah.
Well, now it's like this unhealthy obsession. Every time I see one, I'm like, I must have it.
Oh.
BG, don't forget to put brake-in grease on everything when you're
Oh, that's
assembling
right,
that motor too.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing bacon grease. Mm.
Oh, that works. Carne asada in a pinch.
Right. Exactly. Oh, we're just working on some models. Finger looking good. That's cool. So just any enthusiast kit, or is there one in particular?
Really, any of them will do, I think.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. I have the Ferrari Dino one,
I have that. That's a great kit.
and that was a great kit. But oh my gosh, I don't think the cheater lenses I use in my viewers go strong enough for some of those parts.
I have that one. I have a 356 Porsche that I picked up at an IPMS show, and the tape sticker on it, it looked like 50 to me, and I'm like, okay, that's a reasonable price. That's a good price. So I pull it down and I'm looking at it, and it's been opened. There's a couple of parts clipped off of the trees, and I asked the guy, I'm like, 50? He's like, no, that's 5. I'm like,
What?
I could get my wallet out of my
I would have been all, I'll give you 3.
I'll pay you now when I have to go to the men's room and change my pants.
$5.
That's awesome, man. Oh man, I haven't heard a story like that in a while.
You were with me at that one at the old I can't remember the VFW that Mike used to put on the swap meets.
Yeah.
When I found one of my Holy Grail enthusiast kits, it was that Ferrari Daytona.
Yes.
I was like so excited. That was $50.
Yep.
And
man,
that kit is so cool.
Matt was shaking. He was
So,
like,
yeah,
you gotta see this. You gotta see this. I'm like, well, what? Do I need to call the ambulance or what? What's going on?
So BG, one of the first models I started building after I came back to the hobby, I got like 3 models under my belt, and then I was like, ooh, I'm going to try this Fujimi kit. I had no idea what enthusiast kits were yet. And it was the Lancia Stratos, which has the same engine as your Ferrari Dino. There's like 46 pieces in the engine alone.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Wow.
Yeah. That's one that's in my work in progress stash. I started it, and then that's been a 5-year project. So Josh, your idea of having one for something to keep you busy for a while, it's a good idea.
It'll work.
In between, learning how to plow fields and milk cows and all that kind of stuff.
So what you need to do is you need to take that kit, you need to open the box and put a tube of glue in it, put a couple paints in there, and then when you run with it, it's got everything.
Yes.
Otherwise
we'd be in the Twilight Zone scenario where you have your grill kit, you have the time, you're safe, you can sit down and build it, and the lenses fall out of your glasses, and you're like, oh my gosh! Or the sun goes through your lens right in your glasses and it melts the plastic on the model. That would be me. But Chris, how about you?
I think, gosh, it's kind of hard to narrow it down to just one. If I'm only allowed to grab just one, I'm thinking it's going to be a second generation Skyline kit.
Cool.
After Josh and I's kind of first full year of our business partnership, I got a package in the mail right around Christmas, and it was one of the Scale Riders mystery boxes, which are super cool. If you've never gone through one of those, when you have a little bit of money and you're like, wanting to spoil yourself, buy a mystery box from Scale Riders. They are so much fun to open. But that was one of 3 kits in that box, and it just has such sentimental value to me because, Josh sent that to me as a Christmas present as saying, like, we've had a really awesome year together and Merry Christmas. And so I think if I can only choose one, that's the one coming with me. If I punch a couple zombies and manage to throw another one under my arm, it'll probably be I have an old Revell 1/12 scale Ferrari 275 GTB that I've only seen one other one of. So
wow. Yeah. I didn't even know they made that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. A couple zombies. I don't know if I want to get that close.
I watched Shaun of the Dead. I've got the Dunning-Kruger thing on my side now.
Gotcha. Well, and now it's time for my question. And my question is, in the world of TV and movie cars, hero cars, i.e. Knight Rider, stuff like that, What vehicle would you want as a daily driver? I mean, we're talking going to the Safeway to get food, doing car line at the school. Which car would you want as a hero car would you want as a daily driver? And how about Josh?
87 Ford LTD Crown Vic from the Men in Black.
Oh, yes.
86 Ford
Nobody said that.
POS.
Why are we rolling this POS with the red button?
Yep.
Don't
The
touch
Oh,
red
that.
button
man.
that does everything fun.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of room for groceries in the back.
True, even with those rocket engines.
Wow, that one out. That was good.
That was
Yeah,
good.
nobody's probably ever even thought of that.
Nope,
Good one.
not yet.
I listened to the show. I've been preparing for this one.
Oh, okay.
I like it.
Him
I
over
should have
there
switched
like
it up
that,
to
all
my
fancy.
secondary question. Let's see. No, actually, yeah, I like my question. I'm sticking with it. Chris, how about you?
So I've always been a James Bond fan since I was a little kid. And I think most people would probably say, yeah, I want the Aston Martin, right? Which is a beautiful car, would be a very cool car to have. But the car that has always stuck with me from the James Bond franchise actually came from a movie that wasn't even officially part of the James Bond franchise. A little movie from 1983 called Never Say Never Again. And he drives a Renault R5 Turbo 2 through these twisty roads in Italy. And that car has been a dream car for me ever since.
That's awesome.
Two,
I love the
two
obscure
original
cars.
answers. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
love it.
Yeah, wow.
Love it.
You
I'm
guys
waiting for
study.
the time we have a guest where they go, I don't watch movies.
Can I give you a car from literature?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Cool. Well, I'm going to ask Josh a quick question here, and wondering if you could elaborate for us a little bit on what was your motivation for doing VCG Resins. You said you had purchased it, and wondering what led you to that decision.
So at the time that I purchased VCG, I had just gotten back into the hobby. I had maybe been back in the hobby for about 6 months or so. And I had went looking for some replacement engines. And I knew from my time in the hobby before that resin engines were a big thing. So I went looking for some resin engines, and I had found the VCG Resins engines on Ted's modeling marketplace. So I grabbed a couple of them from there and went to the VCG Resins website to look at some other stuff. And there was no products listed there. There was a, hey, we're selling the business, looking for a interested buyer. At the time, like I said, I had just gotten back into the hobby, and I was really, really passionate about being back into the hobby. Like it was so much different for me than it was before. Like your available funds are much greater. Your skill set is greater. Just everything about it. The tools and technology had progressed so far, and like I was just madly in love with model building again. And I had told my wife, I'm like, because at the time I was pretty miserable in my career. I had been a auto tech for going on 30 years, and I was burned out. I just didn't have it in me anymore. My body was burned out. My mind was burned out on it. And I had told my wife, I'm like, I'm going to find a way to try and make a living in the hobby. I'm loving being back in the hobby so much. I would like to find a way to make a living. And that's when I found the ad on VCG Resins. So I acted on it, because while I was searching for resin engines, I also wasn't finding much. There wasn't much out there anymore. And what I was finding, most of it was all 3D printed. I found a lot of Joel's stuff, Joel was about the only guy out there at the time that was really kind of mass producing and offering anything to the community. So I kind of saw that as well. I'm like, there's an opening in the market here. There's something missing from the market, and there's an opportunity for me to step into the business and into the hobby business right now, kind of plug and play. So that's when I jumped into VCG Resins, and I did the whole resin casting thing and turned aluminum for close to a year.
Okay.
For about the first 6 months or so, it was all cast resin, and it was pretty much only available through Ted's Modeling Marketplace. And then I got the website back up. But at the time, the website wasn't really like a click and add it to your cart kind of website.
Right.
So that was one of the first things I did, was revamped the website and made it a much more user-friendly website. But in the meantime, I had already started playing with 3D printing, and I saw the difference between the two, and I knew right away which way I wanted to go. And through all of that, that's when I had met Chris, and everything just kind of, I don't know, it just ballooned very quickly. The market showed very quickly that the cast resin just wasn't, no offense, Matt.
Oh, no, I can tell you from my side of it. Go on.
The cast resin just wasn't, when I had the two side by side, I'm watching 3D printed parts fly off of the shelf while my cast resin is just sitting there. So that kind of made it pretty obvious the direction that I needed to go. And in hooking up with Chris and seeing what was possible with 3D designing, that really fueled my passion there. Seeing what was possible and what we could bring to the market and what we could make available to the hobby and the community, boy, did that light a fire. And that fire still burns really strong.
Awesome.
Yeah. There is a place for it. Like we discussed it, like that night when we all are hanging out in my shop. It's like the direction I'm going, which changed a lot from my old days of resin casting. It's like little pieces apart. And I've always had people going, "Oh, you're going to do like, engines or whatever the heck, or little piece carburetors." No, man, the 3D print guys have that, and they can do it way better than me. So my thing is more bodies, full kits, the conversion kits. Those work really well for me. My conversion kits are very popular, and a few other little doodads, but a little more larger. I think when you get into doing something large, it's a little better. Like I'm working on a project right now with Salvino's JR Models. We're coming out with a kind of like a factory model factory hero type multimedia kit, and I'm doing all the body panels for a Lotus, and they are 3D printed parts that I get. Jim Rogers he designs it all. He 3D prints, but with these 3D prints, there's no way you could produce them in 3D printing. They're like body panels that are so thin, and the way they're structured. It's what's great with the 3D prototyping is it gives me a master. I get out all the lines, and then of course he does it very slow, so there's very minimal lines. You couldn't do those in production like that. And then I sand it all out, polish it up and everything, make a mold of it, and the casting comes out absolutely beautiful. And I can actually produce it faster. And so in stuff like that. And then, and then there's going to be parts that are white metal and photo etch and all the other things in a vacuum form windshield. So hence multimedia kit. But like I've got pretty soon. You remember when you guys were in my shop and you saw, and I said this one wasn't good enough to go out and the mold was dying, was that Chevy pickup cab? This weekend's project, I'm coming back with that. I'm making a new mold of that. Nice. And you saw how smooth that was and shiny, and That's kind of like what I can do with resin, and it'll be robust and thin like a styrene kit. And so that's where I'm taking the resin thing. I had somebody today ask me if I was ever going to go and start 3D printing. I don't think I will. There's plenty of you guys. I don't need to be in competition with you all, but I will probably get into 3D printing more and I like to start getting into designing. Who knows? I might become one of Chris's students one day. If I ever get, I need to get the computer with the horsepower. I want to design things that I will print to be masters for my resin casting. So that's kind of how the direction that I see it going. But like what you guys do with the small parts, I mean, you guys have brought things to the hobby that were never available, that like us resin casters would have to scratch build, and it would look pretty cool. But man, you guys are making stuff. I go back to, Chris sent me all those different B&M shifters, man. I can't wait to use them. Oh, damn, those things are cool. I literally, one model I was working on, Chris, that was a drag car, that it was originally going to be a 4-speed. I cut that Muncie off, and I got a Power Glide to go under just because I want to use your shifter. It's just, man, there's no way I could ever produce anything like that in resin back when I was doing small parts. So I think there's room for it all, but you're 100% right. It's not offensive to me at all. It was much better for you to go the way of 3D printing now.
And what you're doing with the resin casting, in my opinion, is much better done in cast resin.
Yeah,
you get a much nicer part, in my opinion. I consider myself to be pretty good at this 3D printing thing, but for me personally, I'll take a cast resin body over a 3D printed body any day of the week, all day long.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
And I think you hit it right on the head there, Matt. There's there's room for all of us and what we're doing. And part of what keeps me going every day is the people that tell me how much all of these parts that are available out there are inspiring them to either inspiring them to build something that they've always had in their mind, but they never thought was possible before because they didn't know how to get there. And being able to provide the parts from, designs from Chris, from something that comes out of thin air and all of a sudden manifests into a design and a printed part, it's so rewarding, and it really makes it worth getting up every single day. That's what I keep doing it for. We're not doing this to become millionaires. There's
we're not gonna.
The fame and fortune part of it, there's no fame and fortune here.
No, man.
It's all passion, and you're fortunately famous, So there you go.
Yeah, in the model car world, we go into the regular world and nobody knows who the hell we are.
Nah.
Yeah,
so I know my name at the gas station I go into every day.
Yeah, I tell you, man, isn't it the most reward? This is the thing that has fueled me in the years, and I for decades I've been doing the resin casting on and off. And the greatest thrill is, first of all, people just, man, I got this. I love this thing. I always wanted to make this model. Now I can. And then when you see somebody build something with your parts, is like the coolest thing, man. I get customers sending me pictures of, oh man, this has turned out so cool. I'm taking that 4-wheel drive Deserter and now it's a 2-wheel drive Chevy pickup or GMC pickup, and they're all stoked just because of the little parts I made. And they got them on there, and I go, oh God, it worked.
Goodness. When you get to meet those people in person as well at some of the shows, and it's still weird to me to even say that there's like any sort of fame involved in this. It's still very strange to me that I'm recognized. But when you go to shows and people come and grab you and they're like, hey, come check out this model that I built that has your parts in it. That is absolutely the coolest feeling on earth. It is
so cool.
And when you see those builds take home awards at shows, right? Like when we went to the last GSL, there were, I think, no less than 4 builds on the awards table that had scale speed and VCG parts in them. And, it's such a cool thing because you get to feel proud of what you did. But I also feel proud of my members for what they do. Like when they have those accomplishments, it's a really cool thing.
Very.
VCG Resins, the champion's choice.
Yes, sir.
Just throwing that out there.
Nice stuff. I mean, both of you are making some nice stuff. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And I like I said, there's some things that I've gotten from you guys.
Another motor that I really like that I just ran across in my stash, and as we were speaking and my mic cut out, I think I was talking about this.
Oops.
Was that 409?
Yes, the weekend adventure.
409. Nice.
So I ran across that, and then I looked, and one of my stalled projects was a 62 Impala. That I'm like, oh man, that motor would go great in here. So I pulled it out. Yeah, so I pulled it out. I'm like, you know what? That's what I'm going to use in that.
Nice.
And it just sparked my my juices all up on that kit again. Now I kind of want to start getting that going. So thanks to you.
Yeah.
Nice. Did you see that smile that just grew across my face?
Totally.
That's what it's all about.
That was just yesterday when that happened.
I love the fact that I don't have to kit bash stuff anymore. I don't have to pilfer this engine or this exhaust system or intake system.
Yeah, that's
from another kit that I want to build.
We don't have to buy any more 67 Chevelles, and we don't have to buy any more Motorcraft. What was that? T-Bird, the Motorcraft.
Yeah, the Motorcraft T-Bird. Yeah. Well, old Fred Henry, I think, will still be doing the 67 Chevelles, so he's not going to quit on those. But yeah.
And while we're talking about that 409, I just really want to throw another shout out here to Ryan Voyer, Scale Auto Model Works on Colts 3D. He's so awesome. Kind of the third part of this sort of business partnership that we have, and we work really closely with him, and that's been an absolute joy to do. And he is putting out some fire products right now in the digital world. And it's been really cool to partner with him because, it kind of frees us up to in our design queue, in our workflow, allows us to do more and bring our members more and bring VCG customers more product. And so we kind of work very collaboratively where if there's an engine that Ryan has that fits in a file pack we're doing, we'll use his base files and give our members some of those files, and then we'll also take it and we'll kind of iterate on that, and we'll create new combinations of other parts that he doesn't have for those engines to add on to those as well. But it's been I couldn't ask for a better collaboration and a better starting point on a lot of these designs than what I have with Ryan. So
get him on the show too.
Fun thing about that's the fun thing about like what we were touching on, Josh, is the whole there's enough room for all of us and that we're in this industry together. Is I've become friends with everybody, whether it's the 3D printing guys I'm friends with, Charlie over at ProTech, guys that do aluminum, guys that do photo etch. We're all kind of in this together, and we end up there's some collab work, or we work together on things, and that's where it's good to we're not in competition with one another. We can help one another. It's like something that I make might go with something that you make, and we can send our customers to each other, and that's always that's a big part of it, which makes our part of the community really neat, you know.
Well, and I'll tell you, Matt, that is my litmus test for people in our industry is, are they in it for the right reasons? If they are, then they're friends with their competition, right? The guys that are in it just to kind of make a buck and not really give back to the hobby, those are the guys that are very standoffish to the rest of the people in the space. But the guys that are building these friendships and these, forging these relationships with other people in their same industry, those are the guys that are in it for the right reason, and they really are driven by that passion and the desire to see this hobby continue to grow and flourish in ways that it hasn't,
So first off, we're going to give Chris a double word point for litmus test.
Absolutely.
But secondly, when we had the Model Car Mafia meeting after this most recent Desert Scale Classic, you guys are hanging out in my kitchen and talking to Joel. And
Absolutely.
I'm like, how awesome is this?
And I was sitting there watching it all.
Yeah. So with the bucket of popcorn,
I
was like,
wow, look at that. This
is great. This is so great. So my if the house ever has a problem, I'm going to cut out the kitchen, memorialize that, put that in the museum. 3D printing history. 3D printing history museum.
Yeah, they were leaning up against your counter and everything. It was really very
well, that counter needs to be held down. I tell you, that's a whole other podcast. Anyway, all right, cool. So I want to say thank you to you guys so much for putting up with the time shift delay, because some of us had to work. But again, thank you so much for putting up with that. It really means the world to me that you stuck it out. So thank you guys. And 50% of you are on vacation apparently. So so that works out great.
Thanks for doing that, Chris.
But we're gonna go ahead.
I'm just looking at it like I get to hang out with more of my friends while I'm on vacation.
Yay!
I'm having a blast. So
right on, cool. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and do the closing. I'm going to do Jason's part for him. No, I don't have notes, so I'm just going to do this from memory.
Oh boy!
5 stars, like and subscribe. There's an email thing in the bottom. Thanks.
Yada yada yada.
What's that word he always says? It's a
consortium.
Consortium of podcasts.
Don't hurt yourself. The Podcast Consortium. Go check those guys out, where you'll find podcasts about everything you can possibly want to do modeling wise. And that's my blah 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 yada
yada yada.
And then we'll go ahead and do the goodbyes. We'll start with Chuck.
Yada yada yada.
Oh, that was a good one, Chuck.
Yeah.
Best show ever.
Thank you. I know you were saying that when your microphone wasn't working. Josh, why don't you go ahead and say goodbye to the folks?
Thank you guys. Have a good night. Why do you watch that crap up there?
This way.
The other way.
Backwards.
You're all wrong.
There you go. You just missed me too.
Chris, how about you?
Thank you guys so much. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you guys specifically, and all of you out there that are going to be watching this here shortly in the future. Glad to hang out with you. And again, that if you're looking to get lifetime access, it's scalespeedgarage.com/Pomona.
Pomona.
What's a Pomona?
I freaking love that. That is so awesome. Jason would have been tickled to death by that.
Yeah.
Matt, how about you, buddy?
Hey, well, this is me, Lucas C, aka Matt, from the Lucas C channel. I'm saying, why do you watch his crap?
I like it. Okay, this is BG saying thank you for listening, thank you for watching, thank you for the emails. We really appreciate that, as well as the Facebook group. Yes, we have a Facebook group. Go check it out. Remember to answer the 3 questions, and we'll let you in the door. Otherwise, you get barred.
You'll make Jason mad.
This is BG from the headquarters.
What the hell was that?
BG from the headquarters.
Okay.
It's like a bridge troll guarding the entrance. You have to answer some questions.
Answer these questions 3. I say we do a D&D style. You have to roll for initiative, you know? All right, that's a different podcast also. So we want to say thank you to the friends of the podcast, Iceman Collections, VCG Resins by Reese, and Scale Model Garage, Light Tanks Hobbies, Auto Modeler Magazine. Remember to check out our buddies over at the AMC Livecast every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. And Matt, why don't you give a shout out to your friends over at Salvino's for their thing on Saturday mornings?
Yes, every Saturday morning now on the YouTubes, there is a live cast with Rick Salvino and Jim Rogers over there, and they happen to invite me onto it, and it is every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time over on the Salvino's JR Models YouTube channel. Get on over there. It's live. There's a chat. You can ask us questions, and we'll ignore it.
Sweet.
No. Jim doesn't ignore it, but Rick and I do.
Okay.
That's how we are.
As is your choice. That sounds like a great way to eat your cereal in the morning, since Saturday morning cartoons no longer exist. But thank you very much for.
We're the replacements.
You're the replacements. Thank you very much for doing that, Matt. And final thoughts for today. I gotta tell you guys, I'm so tired. I think I should be mounted, weighed, and balanced, and then bolted onto something. I need to sleep. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now. We'll see you in the next one.
Our beach is kind of rocky. It's nice to go and sit at, but not really a good swimming beach or anything. But
yeah.
But is it a fishing beach?
I'm sure you could fish in it. The only thing I'm good at catching are colds. But,
have you tried slapping a taco on it?
I haven't. I think the next stoplight north of us is 10 miles north, and the next stoplight south is 15 miles south.
Wow.
Dang. So around here, they just put in a roundabout, let people sort it out for themselves. Well, Matt, we were just telling him that Mr. Jason's waiting to become a grandpa 2.0. So he's not going to be able to join us this evening.
Yeah.
Which is okay, because he sent me a copy of all of his connotes.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. So I've got emails, I've got notes. It's just going to be the BG show.
If you want to send those notes to me, we could do the Midwest model car report.
He doesn't have an accent we can make fun of.
I can say a lot. And
yeah, you got to talk like a Midwestern over there.
I'll say open, don't you know?
Where are you now? Are you up there? We're up in Minnesota, or are you up there in Michigan? Or where you at now, Chris?
Right at this very moment, I was telling the guys before you came on, it may look like I'm in my hobby room, but I am actually in Motor City, America, Detroit, baby.
Oh, you're all the way up there. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
With the special effects and all.
That's right.
Jeez.
You guys should see it. I have a desk lamp here shining on me like I'm in an interrogation. I've got a floor lamp here that's giving me this nice glow. It's like a little mobile podcasting studio.
Perfect.
He's got nice printing.
He really does. That is beautiful print.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask him, are you sure you're not a girl? This is how chicks write, dude. Yeah, so just start with May 24th and do May 24th, May 31st, and then June, what does that say, June 79th to February 79th, yeah.
Where are you seeing this?
Did not know he wrote that nicely. Every time I pick up a pen and put it to paper, I shame my mother.
Actually got good handwriting, too. But that's what I've been told. I write like a girl, too.
I believe that.
It's because of how you stand when you write, Chuck.
Yeah.
The only time it was brought up, and
I'm gonna go get me some coffee.
Go, you please go do it. Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to.
I will.
So it's up to you. I'll cut it out.
Either way.
That's what my plastic surgeon said. Hang on, listen. Well, hello there, Roy.
Holy.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uncle Josh. Hi,
Go back up
dude.
to mommy, okay?
At least he doesn't beat you about the head like Felix does.
Not yet. Give him another year or two.
Another year. Are you sure there's not like a setting on your headset you need to press a button on or something? Still nothing.
And they let this guy build missile parts.
Oh, that's a shirt.
Oh, they put tariffs on Chuck's audio.
This is what happens when you talk about 2K clearing your dog. Lightning bolts and everything. Zot! No more audio. Screw this guy in particular. Kapow!
She just did exactly what I just did, but she did it.
There you go. Now you know.
She did it better, yeah.
Exactly what I just did. I came in here, I unplugged everything, plugged it back in. I hit the unmute, and this time it worked.
Was she like reciting some Latin when she did that?
Yeah, so after the show, Chuck's going to have to sage his computer or something.
My buddy over there, God, I'm going to have to edit this. Why did I vapor lock?
What's his face?
Yeah. Oh, what's his face? Yeah. Oh boy. See, I'll cut that all up and it'll be really good. So
yeah.
When you see that, and
He's the only one that's gonna look good on her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I look great.
All of us are stuttering.
Yeah. No, I don't waste my time. But then I'll put it all on the end on the dump. Bye.
No, bitch.
Oh, can I curse?